Have you ever really wanted that one thing? I have this, sure I have that, but I want that, God. Why can't I have that? For me, it was when I was in Alaska, right out of college. I was in a literal Arctic desert. That was the climate. I had a really cool job. I was just one of two people in my broadcasting class that had gotten a job in journalism by graduation. I got to experience really cool things that people pay lots of money to try, like a salmon fishing charter in Alaska. I got to coach a college hockey team in a real game, but I didn't have what my heart had desired for most of my life. All I wanted was a wife, and I couldn't find her. Everyone else had a girl, God. Why not me? Where's my wife at? We had daily conversations, but I never got answers. Have you ever felt that way? There's that one thing that you just don't feel like you're getting an answer from God. Well, Rachel and Leah can relate. Here's what Genesis 29 has to say about these sisters. Leah had weak eyes, but Rachel had a lovely figure and was beautiful. Jacob was in love with Rachel and said, I'll work for you, the dad, 7 years in return for your younger daughter, Rachel. Laban, the dad, said, it's better that I give her to you than to some other man. Stay here with me. So Jacob served 7 years to get Rachel, but they seemed like only a few days to him because of his love for her. Young love, feels like a Disney movie. 7 years he worked for his bride, Rachel, the younger sister. 7 years, Laban perhaps was scheming. Rachel was beautiful to look at and would have had no trouble finding another guy. He could marry her off somewhere else, but the older sister, Leah, was not in high demand amongst the suitors. So Laban pulls a fast one. Look at this. Laban brought together all the people of the place and gave a feast, a wedding. But when the evening came, he took his daughter Leah and brought her to Jacob, and Jacob made love to her. Whoa, what just happened? What a bold move by the dad. Jacob's furious. He loves Rachel, but all of a sudden it's been a switch, and he's married to Leah. What should he do? Verse 27, Laban has a plan. He says, finish this daughter's bridal week, then we will give you the younger one, also in return for just another 7 years of work. And so finish this week with your bride, Leah, then Rachel can be your next bride. You'll have both. And you got to work for me 7 more years. Well, Jacob does it. He wanted Rachel all along. This is where the story gets even more interesting. Can you believe that? Two sisters who want something, but they can't get it. They're looking for fulfillment in all the wrong places. Sounds like a country song. Rachel just wants a baby, but she can't get pregnant. Leah just wants the love and attention of her husband, but he doesn't care about her. What does God do for his daughters? He has compassion. When the Lord saw that Leah was not loved, he enabled her to conceive, but Rachel remained childless. Leah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Reuben, for she said, it is because the Lord has seen my misery. Surely my husband will love me now. She conceived again, and when she gave birth to a son, she said, because the Lord heard that I'm not loved, he gave me this one too. So she named him Simeon. God does that 2 more times, 4 babies. He feels bad for Leah. He gives her 4 sons. But do you see Leah's reaction? She said, surely my husband will love me now. But he doesn't. She's still crying out for something that she doesn't have. And there's Rachel. In chapter 30, we read, when Rachel saw that she was not bearing Jacob any children, she became jealous of her sister. So she said to Jacob, give me children or I'll die. Rachel takes matters into her own hands and has several arranged situations where babies are born, but not from her. Doesn't really work. She's not satisfied. But through time, God does eventually give her what she wants on his time. Look at verse 22. God remembered Rachel. He listened to her and enabled her to conceive. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son and said, God has taken away my disgrace. She named him Joseph. Both sisters looking for fulfillment in the things of this earth. Good things, babies, a relationship with a husband. But only God can truly bring us true fulfillment. Are we any different than Leah and Rachel? Do we ever find all we need in the things of this earth? Or should we be craving God. That's the message of these two sisters. That's the message to us. Who are we looking for to provide true fulfillment?